Who is that guy? YouTube channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe for more. Biography, history, controversy, and more. Hi, my name is Charles, and I'll be the narrator of this channel. Sit back, relax, and don't take life seriously. Now, let's go back in time. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in a small Austrian town near the Austro-German border. After his father retired as a state customs official, he spent most of his childhood in Linz, the capital of Upper Austria. Young Adolf struggled in secondary school and later dropped out. When his father died, he pursued his dream of becoming an artist. Sadly, he was rejected from Vienna's Academy of Fine Arts because he was not as good as he thinks. When her mother died in 1908, he became so lonely that reading books became his addiction, and his interest in politics developed during his years in Vienna. It was at this time Hitler's ideology started to build up. He started his military career in the year 1913. He signed up to volunteer in a reserve infantry regiment. During the First World War in October 1914, Hitler was wounded twice in this war and was awarded for his bravery. Notably, he received the rare Iron Cross, first-class medal. He wore this Iron Cross until the day he died. Germany lost in the First World War, which ended in the 1919 in a Treaty of Versailles. Hitler believes that the reason Germany lost the war is because of the traitors inside the military and some unpatriotic citizens who sided with the Allies. Because of this, Hitler's military ambition was to strengthen the forces of Germany, and one day they will never face the same humiliating defeat against the Allied forces. In 1918, Hitler returned to Munich and started joining the Workers' Party. Hitler was a good public speaker. Many were convinced by his ideology, and later he climbed into the ranks of his party. He left the military in 1920, and then he continued his propaganda, and the Nazi Party was born. In 1921, many were not satisfied with the current Weimar Republic, and Hitler's public popularity is soaring. Then some of the officers in Munich started to join Hitler. In 1923, Hitler, who was still in the opposition, got into a gunfight with the police in the pub hall. Later, he was sentenced to prison for 5 years for treason. Luckily, he only served 9 months. During his time in prison, he wrote a book named My Struggle, which later became one of the best-selling books, which sold 6 million copies in 1940. He was obsessed with his blonde niece, but she committed suicide because of Hitler's possessive behavior. He was so devastated, but later managed to know Eva Braun, a shop assistant, and she was just 17 at that time, and Hitler was already 40 years old. In 1932, Hitler ran against Paul von Hindenburg for president, but the incumbent Hindenburg managed to outvote Hitler. Hindenburg promoted the 43-year-old Hitler as a chancellor. In 1933, there was a fire in the Parliament building. At first, people thought that it was the Dutch who orchestrated it, but later found out that it was the Nazi who was behind it to create instability. In the same year, the Nazi Party is now becoming more powerful and passed a law stating that the Nazi Party constitutes the only political party in Germany. In October 1933, Hitler withdrew from the League of Nations and started to militarize Germany to fuel his ambition of world dominance. The German Jews were the ones who had to endure Hitler's policy. And throughout the country, Jews were persecuted and had to go through years of discrimination, and many were sent to concentration camps. A year before the Second World War started, Germany formed an alliance with Italy and Japan. When Germany finally decided to invade Poland, Britain and France declared war on Germany. With the advice of Hitler's generals, they attacked France and made it all the way to the English border. Germany overwhelmed the French army, and on June 22, France was forced to sign an armistice with Germany. Meanwhile, on the other side of the continent, Japan, an ally of Germany, attacked Pearl Harbor. Because of this, the United States declared war on Japan. Germany, without any hesitation, supports Japan and declared war on the Americans. The Second World War did not favor the Germans. They lost the war because of the lack of productivity of its war economy, the weak supply lines, and starting a war on two fronts, making its military divided and not able to withstand the mighty Allied forces. While Germany's military gets crushed, the Allied forces manages to liberate Europe, and Hitler knew his end is coming. In 1945, the Soviet force is closing into where Hitler is hiding. On the night of April 28, Hitler decides to marry Eva Braun in the Berlin bunker. Hitler shot himself on April 30, 1945, right after he read his political statements. Eva Braun took poison to end her life together with Adolf Hitler. Their bodies were burned according to Hitler's instructions. In the end, throughout history, evil forces will have their dark and sad endings. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more upcoming videos. Goodbye.